The city of Chicago and a gun safety group file a lawsuit against gun manufacturer Glock, claiming the pistols the company makes endanger Chicagoans.
Experts say Glock's pistols can easily be converted into illegal machine guns.
Chicago is suing Glock? Maybe the residents of Chicago should sue their piss-poor leadership. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel-like content, what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything's appreciated. And for my Connecticut residents, if you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get that training done and paperwork turned in before July 1st, 2024. After that, it's going to get longer, it's going to get harder, and depending on the instructor, it will get more expensive. If you have your permit, watch the expiration date. There's a link to the online renewal portal for the state of Connecticut for pistol permits in the description box. Keep an eye on that. Don't let it expire. Let's talk about this. Now, this story is 2 weeks old, but I finally come around to talk about it after gathering information. And the city of Chicago is suing Glock, and the premise to the lawsuit is that Glock knowingly is making an item that can be easily converted into a machine gun. We all know the Glock switches, which allow you to shoot in a semi-automatic and fully automatic mode.
Learning more about the lawsuit the city of Chicago filed against gunmaker Glock.
The suit alleges that pistols can easily be turned into machine guns.
It's already illegal to put a conversion device on a Glock that essentially turns it into a machine gun, but now the city of Chicago is suing the gun manufacturer, saying it's doing nothing to stop the practice. In a lawsuit filed yesterday in Cook County Court, the city of Chicago says police have recovered more than 1,100 Glocks in the last 2 years that have been illegally converted into machine guns.
You are looking at a handheld machine gun. This is a weapon of war that should not be on any streets, but a handheld illegal machine gun that's being easily converted for around $20.
It's done by using what's called an auto sear or Glock switch, about the size of a quarter. They're sold online or even manufactured at home with a 3D printer. The switch allows a Glock to fire as many as 1,200 rounds a minute. The city's lawsuit alleges Glock could fix the problem, but refuses to do so.
They've known about this problem for years. Their pistols are uniquely susceptible to this easy modification. They can fix it. They've made a business decision to put profits over public safety.
But gun rights advocates say the city has misfired on its target.
Well, I think it's more political than it is practical.
Richard Pearson, executive director of the Illinois State Rifle Association, says prosecutors aren't using the laws at their disposal when they arrest people with converted Glocks.
The federal penalty is 10 years in prison. The state penalty is 8 years in prison. And very few people ever get that. I mean, they let them go with a slap on the wrist.
In addition to demanding design changes in the gun, the city is also asking for monetary damages from Glock to help cover the city's cost of investigating and prosecuting crimes committed with the converted guns.
So they're suing Glock, claiming that they know about the problem but won't do anything about it. This is an example of progressive, piss-poor leadership. This is the same thing when Chicago went out and sued Kia and Hyundai, if you remember that lawsuit, claiming that they're deliberately making their cars easy to break into. And immediately you kind of shake your head and go, well, wait a minute. Why aren't you holding the criminals accountable for doing the thefts in the first place? Why aren't you giving them real-world consequences for their actions? It doesn't matter how easy a car is to break into. It doesn't matter if the car's wide open with the keys in the ignition. If the person doesn't steal the car, there is no issue. If you don't hold the person accountable, first and foremost, for stealing the car, there's no problem. It's the same thing with the Glock switch. If you don't hold the criminals accountable for what they do, then, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have mayhem because you won't hold these people accountable. So, I just remember there's a video floating around, and unfortunately I can't show it because if I do, YouTube will age restrict. Teenagers carrying handguns with Glock switches on them in full view on social media. Their faces showing. They're not afraid because they know there are no consequences if they get caught. There are no consequences. Whose fault's that? Glock or the leaders of that city? Brandon Johnson is a far left progressive. This is what you get when you get a far left progressive. You have an idiot who blames everything else except himself and his policies. The border crisis. He blames Greg Abbott for shipping the migrants up to his city instead of acknowledging that Biden is at fault. Carjackings going up, specifically around Hyundais and Kias. What does he do? He doesn't blame the criminals for stealing the cars. He blames the car manufacturers and sues them. Now he's saying that it's Glock's fault that they have this rampant crime in the city, not the fact that they are soft on crime and they're letting these evil little bastards out with a slap on the wrist. No. It's everyone else's fault but his. And it's hard for me to feel sorry for the people of Chicago. This is what you voted for. You wanted to vote for, you voted for him because he is black, but you weren't listening to what he was saying with his message. Because everything that he's doing, he ran on. That was his campaign. Everything that's going wrong in that city right now is based on his policies. But he turns around and he blames a gun manufacturer because criminals are using the product in a nefarious manner. Where have we heard this stupidity before? And how are we going to reconcile with this? Because if you listen to the one person that believes a deputy commissioner, listen to what he's saying.
We want this to be a blueprint for other cities around the country who are facing the same source of harm.
He's pretty much putting out the red carpet saying, hey, other states, check out what we're doing. Do what we're doing. If you have criminals in your state who are violating the law with illegal firearms and they put this illegal product on it and cause mayhem, you too can sue the manufacturer of the firearm and not go after the criminal. Jump on board. Join our stupidity. Join our ignorance. Join in on our piss poor leadership is exactly what he's saying. It really is annoying and infuriating how these things go down like this, where the scapegoat has nothing to do with the actual problem. We have a crisis among our young people. Now, just remember when they had the teen takeovers in downtown Chicago, Mayor Brandon, he refused to call it a riot. As a matter of fact, he called it a large gathering.
Quick follow-up, when you say trends, what do you mean? Can you give us an example of a couple of the trends you're seeing?
Oh, you're not aware of some of these large gatherings?
You're talking about the mob actions?
No, that's not appropriate. We're not talking about mob actions. I didn't say that.
What happened?
Okay, hold on a second, okay? Respectfully. These large gatherings, just hold on a second, y'all. I promise you, we have time to talk. It's important that we speak of these dynamics in an appropriate way.
This is piss poor leadership. And nothing's going to change because every time there's a crime spree, he's going to blame something else. Not him. It's not his fault. It's not the people who are actually doing the crime's fault. It's whoever made the product that they're using. It's their fault. And we're going to sue them for money. Yeah, this is what you get when you vote for a progressive. This is what you end up with. Anyone who knows anything about firearms knows that pretty much any semi-automatic gun can be modified to shoot fully automatic. You got a person who's quick enough, got some good engineering skills, it can be done. As a matter of fact, you could shoot a semi-automatic rifle full auto with no modifications whatsoever. So now somebody figures out how to make this part, and as a matter of fact, these parts originally came out of China. But now people figured out how to make them on 3D printers, making them even cheaper. Yet, no matter what is going on, these clueless and deflective people will always find something else to blame but themselves. Their soft on crime policies are the reason why you have this problem going on, because the criminals in certain cities, not all, know for a fact that there are no consequences, a very little consequence to what they're doing. That's why they do it. That's why they go out and unload, hundreds of rounds, because they know if they get caught, I'm a teenager, what you going to do to me? And they won't do anything to them because, hey, it's racist to lock up people for committing crimes. Now, I'm not sure. I hope Glock does not settle. I hope Glock takes this into the court. I know it's going to cost them, but if they give in here, they better be prepared for suits coming from all over the place. New York, California, all these liberal-run bastions are going to come after them, and they're all going to want money. And why is this all? You kind of can back up and see the bigger picture. This is all about financially hurting the gun companies. That's why they're doing it. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.